Yeah, you guys scored on that. A lot of points. Lots of points on the board. Let's see if you can do as well. The first few authors pretty hard. Up at number 20, 19, 18. These are best-selling authors, remember. Best-selling. She wrote over 600 books, mostly for children. Well, that's why it was lucrative. Her works include adventure and boarding school stories. The Famous Five series is among her most well-known. Anybody heard of the Famous Five? Not me. She also created the beloved character Noddy. Noddy. Never heard of him or her. With over 600 million copies sold, she is one of the best-selling children authors ever. Yes, Mrs. Doubtfire, I believe, is the correct answer. She was born in 1897, passed in 1968. Anybody have any clue who the number 20 best-selling author of all time? Oh, Stuart knew it. Figured. A lot of literature is British. Enid Blyton. Stuart knew. Did anybody else know? I might have missed it. We've got quite a few people playing tonight, which I appreciate. Sometimes I might miss an answer going by, but give it a try. Despite her popularity, her books were initially criticized by some educational institutions for being too simplistic. That's why they sold good. All right, number 19. He is one of the most translated authors in the world. Sells worldwide, I guess that's what that means. His most famous novel is about a young shepherd seeking treasure. The novel was originally published in Portuguese. Yeah, I get your point, Eddie, but we're trying to get it as a team now. The novel was originally published in Portuguese. I told you that already. The Alchemist is his most popular book, selling over 150 million copies. Look at it. Somebody do it. Rhombus. Paulo Coelho. 1947. 2 presidents, as he's still kicking, I guess. He hails from Brazil. Before becoming a writer, Coelho pursued a career as a songwriter. A previous career. Yeah, you guys got that one. Not bad. Must have been the robot's superior painting. All right, next up, you'll know this name. He started his career in Hollywood writing screenplays. That's kind of backwards, isn't it? Many of his novels have strong female protagonists. His works include Master of the Game and If Tomorrow Comes. I don't think Clint's a lot of things, but I don't think he's a best-selling author, but I'm not sure. He also created the hit series I Dream of Jeannie. This is the guy who created I Dream of Jeannie. He sold over 370 million copies of his novels. Famous writer, lots of novels, female protagonist, I Dream of Jeannie. I think you guys can get this one. Yeah, Stuart. That is correct. Mr. Sidney Sheldon, 1917 to 2007. Sheldon is one of the few writers to win an Oscar, a Tony, and an Emmy. And anybody that made I Dream of Jeannie is good in my book. Susan, what's up? Emre, Savannah, good to have everybody here. Next up, you'll know this name. She's often called the Queen of Mystery. Her two most famous detectives are Hercule Poirot and Miss Marple. Yes. Proud. Miss Marple. And then there were none. And then there were none. Let me say that again. And then there were none is one of her best-selling novels. Her works have sold over 2 billion copies worldwide. That's right. 2 billion copies. She also wrote plays, including The Mousetrap, the longest-running play in history. The Mousetrap. Yes, you guys are all getting it correct. It is indeed Agatha Christie. Agatha Christie. Born in 1890, passed in 1976. Christie worked as a nurse during World War I, which inspired some of the medical details in her stories. There you go. Everybody got that one. Good job. Next up. His books are known for their rhyming style and whimsical illustration. The Cat in the Hat is one of his most famous iconic creations. He's number 16. His works often include made-up words and fantastical creatures. That's correct. Pretty good. Everybody knows. Oh, well, the robots kind of gave it away, didn't they? They threw the hat on him. Green Eggs and Ham was written using only how many words? How many separate words did they use in Green Eggs and Ham? Anybody know? He sold over 600 million copies of his children's books. Green Eggs and Ham, how many words, different words are there in that whole book? He only used a few words in the whole book. Green Eggs and Ham, I am, or something. Oh, more than 20. Good guess, though. The number's 50, but that's still not very many, right? Dr. Seuss's real name was Theodore Seuss Geisel. Theodore Seuss Geisel. There he is. Got in the hat. Dr. Seuss. Next up, you'll know this one. He wrote a series about a young wizard. The first book in the series was published in 1997. The books were adopted into the highest grossing film franchise of all time. That's correct. Savannah! Body! Everybody's getting it. Harry Potter has sold over 500 million copies worldwide. Not the 2 billion copies that Agatha Christie sold. Oh my goodness. J.K. Rowling. She was born in 1965. Rowling wrote parts of the first Harry Potter book in a cafe while she was still struggling financially. So kind of like those old people back in Paris, right? The Lost Generation, who was at Hemingway and F. Scott Fitzgerald sitting in Paris cafes writing their books. J.K. Rowling, same story. How about that? There you go. She was number 15. Who's number 14? He's considered one of the greatest Russian novelists. His works are known for their length and depth. I guess they mean thickness. Or maybe the depth. Yeah, Brad. I read the Cliff Notes. And I did listen to a couple books on tape, I believe. Mostly overnight, though, sleepy. He also wrote Anna Karenina, which was also a good movie, right? His novels explore themes of morality. Excuse me, I was going to say mortality, but morality and social change. So Leo Tolstoy is correct. 1828 to 1910, so he passed all the way back in 1910. But yeah, a lot of good books. Good, long, thick books. That's right. I don't believe he wrote Willy Wonka, but I could be mistaken. Willy Wonka might have been based on one of his books. You'll know the next one. He's known as the King of Horror. Many of his novels have been adapted into films and TV shows. Kind of an abstract version of the robots are painting that. His work includes The Shining, It, and Carrot. Correct? Everybody's correct. Brett, Mitch, Susan, Stuart. He has sold over 400 million copies of his books. He often sets his stories in the fictional town of Derry, Maine. I guess there's a few books that are set there, but not all of them. I don't know about that clue. No, he hasn't written Karen yet, but that would be a good one. Karen. It's coming soon. Shawshank Redemption. Yeah. Oh, there's so many different things, right? Stephen King. Born in 1947 and still kicking. Likes to play in a rock band. King wrote the first draft of Carrie in the laundry room of a trailer. There you go. Didn't know trailers had laundry rooms, but okay. There you go. Next up, number 12. Yeah, I've actually never heard of this lady, and she's number 12. She was known as the Queen of Romance. Her novels often featured aristocratic characters and settings. She wrote over 700 books in her lifetime. Who knows? No, Mitch. Good guess. Incorrect. Her works sold more than 750 million copies. So we could do the math, divide 750 by 700, and there you go. Each book sold over 1 million. She was almost as famous for her glamorous and eccentric personality, which I think we've shown her to be that. Nobody has this yet. I'll tell you. She was known as the Queen of Romance. 700 books, 750 million copies. She was famous for her glamorous and eccentric personality. This is Barbara Cartland. Cartland was listed in the Guinness Book of Records as the world's most prolific novelist. There you go. Well, you'll probably know the next one. She is one of the most widely read romance authors of all time. Her novels often explore themes of love, family, and resilience. She has published over 190 books. So nothing like 700. Her works have sold over 800 million copies. Many of her novels have adapted into TV movies. Yeah, you got it. Very good. Susan. You got it. Susan's got it. Danielle Steele. Danielle Steele was born in 1947, same as Stephen King. Steele writes on a 1946 Olympia typewriter and works on multiple books at once. That's the way I would like to work too. I like to have lots of pans in the fire. Yeah, very good. Danielle Steele. That's correct. We're down to number 10. We got the top 10 now. Top 10 grossing authors of all time. Number 10. He is often referred to as the father of modern fantasy literature. His most famous works feature hobbits, elves, and a powerful ring. It's kind of a good clue. The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings are his best-known books. His works have sold over 300 million copies. Okay. So you got the last name. Brad. Brad's got the last name. But he goes by initials. But there's quite a few initials. So, what initials does he go by? It's something Tolkien. There you go, Brad. Very good. It's weird, right? What do they stand for, I wonder? 1892 to 1973. J.R.R. There you go. What's that stand for? Tolkien was a professor of Anglo-Saxon at Oxford University. There's your homework assignment. What does the J.R.R. stand for? Homework tonight on Quick Bite History Live. Next one's too easy. We should just skip it. He is often called the greatest playwright in history. His works include plays, sonnets, and poems. Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet are among the most famous plays. Yes, and good typing all the way out, spelled correctly, Stuart. Nice job. Did he have another name? William Shakespeare? Did he have another name? I can't remember. Kentucky, get another name. His estimated total sales exceeded 4 billion copies. How about that? He was known as, here we go, the Bard of Avon. That's what I was thinking. The Bard of Avon. Yep. Voice text. Oh, your secret. Okay. We all got to get voice text. I'm sure there's some tools I could use. I guess I do use a few tools, but there might be more. That's right. William Shakespeare, born in 1564. Wow. Next up, he is best known for a series of books about a magical wardrobe. The Chronicles of Narnia is his most famous work. His books often explore themes of faith and morality. He was a close friend of J.R.R. Tolkien. And if he was a close friend, then he should probably know what the J.R.R. stand for. I bet we could just ask ChatGPT, but if I had my voice part of it going, we would ask. His works have sold over 100 million copies. In fact, I have a notice up on my computer right now. I have a iMac, and it says that I can upgrade the system tonight and I can experience Apple's personal intelligence system. So I don't wonder what that is. There you go. You guys are starting to get it. Oh, Stuart had it way back. Okay. Stuart had it. C.S. Lewis is correct. What's the CS stand for? Good question. More homework. There you go. More homework. Here we go. He was a prolific Belgian author of crime novels. His most famous character is Inspector Maigret. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. His stories are known for their psychological depth and realism. His stories are known for their fact that he wrote 400 novels and total sales exceeding 500 million copies. How do you get up to number 7 on the list? His books have been translated into dozens of languages. Anybody know who this guy is? He was a prolific Belgian author of crime novels. Inspector Maigret. Nobody knows this one. I think the robots pulled a fast one on us here and snuck this in here. Oh, well. Anyway, his name is George Simenon. George Simenon. Did you know that? Anyway, okay. Well, nobody was impressed by that one. You'll know this next guy. He's from the neck of the woods where Brett and I used to hang out. Susan as well. He is a master of suspense and thriller novels. Many of his works explore the conflict between good and evil. And he used to hang out in the same bar that I did. Same drinking establishment. He has sold over 400 million books worldwide. His most popular series features a character named Odd Thomas. His novels often include elements of the supernatural. And he used to hang out in my bar. I guess it wasn't technically my bar. It was quite a few different people's bar. Brad, do you know? Susan? Who is this? Famous author that used to hang out at Turk's Old Man by the Sea. This is a Turk's hanger outer. This is Mr. Dean Koontz. Dean Koontz. Of course. He worked as a high school English teacher before becoming a full-time writer. There you go. And he's made some money writing. Number 5. She was known for writing glamorous and scandalous novels. Her stories often depict the lives of the rich and the famous. Who knows this one? Hollywood Wives and The Stud are among her most famous works. She sold more than 500 million books worldwide. Yes. Let's see. Stuart is correct. It's the sister of Joan Collins. Joan Collins is actually her sister. And she's a famous actress, of course. And this is Jackie Collins. Jackie Collins was born in 1937, passed in 2015. Jackie Collins reportedly wrote her first novel in longhand on a legal pad. There you go. She wrote it out. Longhand. Cursive. There you go. Jackie Collins. Sister to Joan Collins. All right. You'll know the next one. Number 4 with a bullet. He is one of the most commercially successful authors of all time. His best-known works include the Alex Cross series. He frequently collaborates with other writers. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed that lately, but almost every book he comes out with now has 2 guys listed where he's collaborated with another writer. Interesting. He has sold over 425 million books. So not the 4 billion books, but 425 million. He holds the record for the most New York Times bestsellers by a single author. Who knows this one? Alex Cross series. Nobody knows. Maybe the robot's painting is fooling you. Nobody knows this one. He's the most commercially successful author currently. I mean, everything he does goes number 1 with a bullet. He holds a record for most New York Times bestsellers by a single author. This is Mr. James Patterson, another guy that was born in 1947. All these authors were born in 1947. Something in the water. He donates millions to support literacy programs and independent bookstores. There you go. We're down to the top 3. This gentleman. Oh, I see. I have a repeat on number 1, so we'll have to get down there. This gentleman created one of the most famous fictional lawyers in literature. His series revolves around solving courtroom mysteries. Perry Mason is his best-known character. Anybody know that? He sold over 300 million copies of his books. John Grisham's a good guess. Incorrect. Many of his stories were adapted for television. This is the guy who came up with Perry Mason. Perry Mason. Yeah, 47 was weird, huh? That was when the UFO crashed? Maybe that had something to do with it? Could be. Could be. Anybody know this guy? No? Erie Stanley Gardner. Yeah, me neither. 1889 to 1970. I don't know how he made it this high on the list. Fun fact, Gardner was a practicing lawyer before becoming a full-time author. All right. Number 2. Stuart may know this one. He is one of the most famous Victorian-era novelists. His stories often focused on social reform and the plight of the poor. His works include A Christmas Carol and Oliver Twist. Perhaps he kind of maybe looks like Bram Stoker with the purple fire coming up. Brad has it. Yeah, Stuart has it. Brad probably has less delay, Stuart. So you're probably a victim of the delay. That is correct. He wrote a serialized form, publishing his novels chapter by chapter. Oh, that's interesting. So he released chapter by chapter. That's cool. That's cool. I don't know. Does anybody else do that nowadays? I don't know if I've heard of that. Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens was born in 1812 and passed in 1870. Weba. Dickens gave public readings of his works that were wildly popular. That'd be cool. Now, I will tell you that the robots pulled a fast one on me, and our number 1 of the evening is actually already been listed. She's a duplicate. She's the best-selling fiction author of all time. Now, if you remember, Her books have sold over 2 billion copies. Murder, and we're going to do her twice so that for emphasis, so you remember it. Murder on the Orient Express is one of her most famous mysteries. She is known for her intricate plots and surprise endings. No, it kind of looks like a guy, though, right? No. Yes. Yes. I don't know why the robots did a double on me and I didn't notice. But that's all right. She's worth it. She sold 2 billion copies. So Agatha Christie, born in 1890 and passed in 1976, lived a ripe old age. Christie once went, get this, Christie once went missing for 11 days in real life mystery that remains unsolved. Anybody remember anything about that? That Agatha Christie went missing when she was older for 11 days? Oh, I don't know. Well, you did pretty good. I'd say you didn't do quite as good as the comedy films, but you did do pretty good.